this time in the afternoon. Anyway, today is week 3 of my Sunday sermon. So those of you who are not on here yet, I'm going to wait for a few minutes and see what happens. And I hope everybody is doing well on this Sunday. I know there's a lot going on with the world today, and there's a lot of challenges in our everyday life, and it's not getting really any easier, but we're going to talk about challenges today anyway. So I'm just going to dive in, and if you come on, as you come on, I'll be replaying this, so anybody who wants to see it later will be able to watch it on the group later. So what is the meaning of a challenge exactly? It's to accept and to attempt a practical test, whether that is a contest or an answer to an invitation, a call to action. Any of these things can be a challenge. You know, I knew that doing this was going to be a challenge. I knew that going live was going to be a challenge. I knew that a new business was going to be a challenge. I knew that life coaching was going to be a challenge. All of these things I hadn't done before. So they're all going to be new and challenging. But when you're ready to take that challenge, it's a fantastic feeling. And I want anyone who is not challenging themselves to take the time now and start, because it's the perfect time to do it. And to challenge yourself, you know, you would think it's the most natural thing in the world. For people, especially parents, so any of you who are parents, or even if you're not, you might have heard this as a child, to praise you as a child for being intelligent or your talents, whatever those talents may be, rather than how hard you tried, whether it's he or she, how hard you tried. Like, wow, you solved that puzzle so quickly. So you're amazing. You're just awesome. You're amazing. And it shows the kind of praise that promotes this fixed mindset that we get into when it comes to challenges. And the belief that success is zero-sum game. It's a zero-sum game. So you're told as a child, yay, go you, and then you think that that's it, and that's your fixed mindset. And you either got it or you don't. It's that simple. So people with a fixed mindset, when confronted with a difficult challenge, they tend to give up easily, and they blame others for their inability to achieve that goal and that challenge, and they don't know what it takes from within to achieve and succeed in that challenge. And it's ironic, but we are misleadingly called success comes more often from those who don't think it's success, and failure is in black and white terms. And those terms imply a growth mindset is one that views challenges and learning opportunities and failure as a temporary setback. So growth mindset, fixed mindset. And it's, again, it starts when we're young and how we are told and how we're brought up, and that kind of sets the tone often for the rest of our lives and what we think and do in it. And so a growth mindset is one that views challenges and learns opportunities and failure as a temporary setback, and that is it. And it is common among people who score high on a measure of successes. So from good grades in school to artistic achievement to personal happiness to their careers to their salaries. And there was a study done that tracked 2 types of people: a class that went to university, and then a group that were just, I don't want to say lower class, but a lower group of, they're a lower class, low middle class group. And they did this study from young adulthood through to their old age. And the evidence of this is their willingness to take challenges in spite of their setbacks. And that was the most consistent predictor of the people's long-term success in relationships, and in career, and in personal well-being. So all of these things that I'm talking about right now are all about challenges and fixed mindset, growth mindset. And if you have a fixed mindset, that has to be changed. And how do we do that? And what do we need to do that? We need the tools to do that. So again, research shows that an unwillingness to take on challenges and offer strategies for cultivating this invaluable mindset. And it's a fast-changing world, as we know. We're living in it. And only our higher order of thinking skills can keep us aware, engaged, and growing. So these are things that never change. You need to work on them. So again, challenges. This is the analytical side of challenges. And these are the things that we need to learn to shift if we want to change it up. So right now, I'm just giving you the back end psychological aspect of challenges, growth mindset, fixed mindset. So again, the fast-changing world that we are a part of right now, and the higher order that keeps us aware and engaged in growing lessons learned over decades. So the essential skills that you or I may need to be taught are invaluable tools for adapting, learning, and thriving. So if you're not doing any of these things in life, then you're not challenging yourself, or you're afraid of the challenge. And as a confidence coach, challenging things are often the common denominator for all of this. I mean, if you can't challenge yourself or don't want to challenge yourself, it can be the difference between success and failure. And I often ask my clients, why do you think you can't take a challenge on? Why do you fear challenges? Why do you step away from challenges? Is it fear-based? And it's when you ask those questions that you actually find out the answers. And everybody's answers, as I always say, are different from one person to another. And that's just the way it is. But in saying that, the essential skills need to be taught. As I said, they're taught. So if you are of a fixed mindset, those things can be taught to you to change your ways of thinking so that you have a growth mindset instead of fixed mindset. And then you can move forward into different challenges, and you adapt easily, and you begin to realize that you're adapting more easily. And there are 7 essential skills to this that need to be learned. One is focus and self-control. The other is perspective talking and taking and communicating, which is what I do with you guys live. And today it seems really quiet out there, and I'm not sure why, but it's a Sunday. Who knows? I know we're not going anywhere. Communicating, that's 3. Making connections, critical thinking, taking on challenges, which again, I asked hello, Martin. So yeah, taking on challenges, being self-directed, and engaged learning. So fixed mindset, growth mindset, very, very different things. But you can relearn those and learn to take challenges in your life. Incremental little challenges can turn into very big you can take on the big challenges later, but you have to start small and learn and build on those. So building social and emotional skills along with intellectual competencies starts at the preschool years, which is crazy, right? I mean, we don't think about it, but that's where it all starts. Our ability to challenge ourselves starts at the preschool age. I don't know if anybody out there actually thinks that, believes that, but if you take a good hard look and you think back to those years, you might realize that it's accurate. Because I thought about it. before and during this coaching and throughout my coaching experience, I found myself delving deeper. And I said, coaches have coaches. We have coaches, so we can do better things for the people for our clients, for the ones that we're coaching. So it's just another one of those things that when you think about it, go back to preschool and give it a really good thought and learn that that's when you learn to grow and get the tools and be able to become and use your full potential and become compassionate and capable and adaptable into adulthood. So preschool, who knew, right? So for anybody who was wondering, that's where and when this all starts. And why is taking challenges important to you or anyone? Or why is it important in life in general? Engaging in a new, different activity is going to a new place. It can be stressful. So that's whether it's a job, it's moving house, it's for children, it's moving schools, even for adults. You're going from, you graduate high school, you go into college or university, and that's a whole different ballgame. So all of these things are very stressful, but they're challenges. And being confronted with a challenge or a threat has a physical effect on your body. It's a stress hormone, it's adrenaline, it's cortisol. The body's resources for building up the immune and growth and physical growth systems in a strengthening action. I know. What am I talking about? It's really just a matter of all of these things, all of these challenges give us anxiety. That's really the basis of all of it. It can give us great anxiety, and we have to learn how to overcome these blocks that we give and put in front of ourselves. So after the challenge is over, the body returns to this normal functioning individual that we are. But it's during those stresses that we really will decide to opt in or opt out of a challenge. Remember, I'll give you an example. When you were a kid and you watched somebody climb the ladder at the pool and they got out on that diving board and they took the dive. They just jumped in. And then how many kids got up there and turned around and went back down? They were afraid of the challenge. The worst possible scenario was that it's not about diving, it's about taking the leap. You have to take a leap of faith and realize that you have to challenge yourself. And without that challenge, you just become complacent. And then you have to decide if that's where you want to be and that's where you want to live. Because I know I don't. That's why I've decided to go out here, come on live, do my coaching, and look challenges and overcome challenges as they come to me. And I think everybody can learn a valuable lesson from looking at their challenges and moving past them and moving beyond them. So again, this is being confronted with challenges and how our body deals with those challenges. And then again, after those challenges are over, our anxiety levels go back down and we continue. But do you feel better? If you don't, I'll go back to the diving board. Do you feel better about yourself and your self-esteem if you don't actually make the jump? Because I know when I think back to challenges taken or challenges not taken from fear, I often now look back in regret of not doing those challenges or taking those challenges. And I think for the most part, a lot of us do have the same regrets. Even though they might be small, if you really take the time and think back, you'll probably then realize that a lot of these failures are not failures, they're just lack of the ability to challenge yourself. And that's where a lot of us live, in the fear of the unknown. What ifs? So what could happen if we take this? Well, what happens if you don't take it? You'll never learn. And challenging yourself is the best thing ever. I mean, it really truly is. It gives you so many options if you just trust in yourself that in time, by challenging, you will succeed. So there are so many different avenues that you could think of as a child or as a young adult or as an adult of those challenges that you didn't take. But if you don't take those challenges, often the prolonged stress, and then you focus on the self-control and the increase of negative emotions then flow from the challenges that you didn't take or you don't want to take. It's those challenges that you need to have a trusting relationship and significant people in a child's life can help you be less prone to pressure, put through challenging situations with greater ease, and have more control in stressful circumstances. So again, it goes back to how we raise our children, how we are, what we are taught. But at the same token, as a life coach, these are the obstacles that people come with, and we have to work around. And it's just that easy. We have to work around it. I mean, it's just that easy. It's not an easy task, but when you come to realize that you need to challenge yourself, that's when things then do become more open, and you're more receptive, and you're able to take more challenges. Although they're small steps, you get there. And that's about what this is. It's about taking those small steps, getting them, and getting there. So, although, again, I'm going to go back to something that I had read. And it was about a child's inherited biology is meaningful. The temperament of a child does not fully determine how a child will react to stress. Genetic makeup only gives a disposition to react in certain ways. That's why a child's home environment is so important. So, less effective parenting styles in handling tension interfere with a child's learning to self-regulate. The negative alarmist who sees danger everywhere, or intrusive and overprotective parent, can then lead to us not taking challenges ourselves. So again, you have to reflect and go back and think if that was, and I'm not blaming parents, even though it goes back to our childhood or young adulthood, I'm not blaming parents. I'm just saying this is often where many things that, whether that's image, self-esteem, and challenging yourself, all of these things often happen at a very young age, and we just don't realize it's happening to us at the time. And it's not until you later reflect and set your goals up and decide what you want to be. So those people who seem to be able to take on challenges have either then overcome their own, upbringing, or they've been brought up in a way that they've been allowed and taught that failure is okay, and you can continue to go on and continue to challenge yourself, and it's all right to fail. But as long as you continue to try and you continue to challenge yourself, everything is fine. There's no harm and no foul when you try, even if you fail. If you continue to try, that's all it's about. So, feel your feelings. Realize that it's okay to feel pain, and let yourself be sad or angry or any other emotion. Feeling emotions is healthy and is important. Bottling those feelings up will do nothing for you in the long term and prevent you from being able to get through and process life's obstacles. So, if you feel like screaming in frustration because you can't accomplish something, or you can't get a handle on your challenges, that's okay. Scream. Make a plan. That's, as a life coach, what I do, especially in the world of confidence. And that idea of confidence coaching is making a plan. And that plan is based on each individual person that I may or may not that I'm coaching, and what they want to know and what challenges they need to overcome. Whether that's dressing up, whether that's, it doesn't matter. It's a challenge, and that's what they're overcoming. So make a plan, and that's what I do. I help people make plans so that they know where they want to be in their life. So you have to make those plans, live with them forever, and you get to run your own life. In order to overcome life struggles, you need to make a plan, figure out what that is for you, and what you need to succeed and overcome those challenges that you're facing. Know that others have the same struggles, or maybe not the exact same struggles, but something very similar. So oftentimes in life we focus on our own challenges, but remember, there is a whole world out there, and everyone goes through something, and you're not alone in the way that you feel about these things. So you're not the only one, nor am I, who's been challenged and failed, or been afraid to take a challenge because we might fail. We all have to overcome something. So reaching out, sometimes I say to clients, is asking help isn't failing, but failing to ask for help when you need it is. So you're trying to get a promotion, you're trying to better your image, you're trying to get more confident, you're trying to get motivated for the simplest of things. You need to realize that it is okay to ask for help to guide you through that. And again, that's what these things are for. And then reach out. Something I always ask my clients for isn't about failing, but failing to ask for help when you need it again. So don't be afraid to reach out to people and get the help and support that that's why coaches are here. You don't necessarily need a therapist for everything, but you might just need a life coach. And I'm not going to be everybody's life coach. And as I say, I'm okay with that. I don't expect to be. But at the same token, you need to be able to take the challenges and accept the support that you get. Asking for help is hard. And accepting help is even harder. And then letting people in that are complete strangers at the time is another hurdle. But it's another challenge. So where are you now? What are your goals? What do you need to succeed? And then what are you willing to do to make it happen? What challenges are you facing that you can't get or figure out on your own, or you're afraid to leap into? And they could be small. And again, you have to go back to what I said earlier and see if anything is relatable to you when I say those things. So, and help others. You can't look for happiness. You won't find it. Look for someone to help, and happiness will find you, is a quote. And once you spend time, so that's again, that quote is, it has been said that you can't look for happiness. You won't find it that way. Look for someone to help, and happiness will find you. So when I'm doing my life coaching with my clients, I'm always happy to help. So when people come to me, I'm open, receptive, not judgmental. If we wanted that, we could go back to our friends, our family members. They'll always have something to say. This is why it's good to ask the questions and step away from those other things. And once you spend time helping others by sharing your stories, you realize then that the statement is very true, that quote is very true. It's not until you begin to open up and help others that you realize. And as coaches, that's what we do. And then remember that with every challenge, you've got to remember the small things in life too. That first cup of coffee in the morning, or that first tea, or hey, go, it's just the small stuff that changes when you're dealing with the big challenges. when you deal with and all of a sudden realize that the small things in life are nothing, but it helps us goal and set goals and change our mindset to look at the things that are the bigger challenges. So don't be ashamed of what you've been through or what you're dealing with when it comes to your challenges. That's another key component of all of this. You can't be afraid, and you don't want to give up on yourself. And again, there's nothing to be ashamed of. We go to our friends with help. We go to our family with help. Why not come to somebody who actually knows how to help you? Because it's so relevant and so key in facing our challenges. And then be proud of yourself for doing the smallest challenges. Be proud. If there's something that you're afraid of and all of a sudden you realize, I did it. And it can be such a small thing. But, you're afraid to go, take that dive. You're afraid to go on a boat. You're overcoming the smallest fears. You didn't think you could accomplish reading a novel. Anything that challenges you, it can be so slight, that once you do it, be proud of it. Be proud of the little things, because it's those little challenges, as I have always said, that then lead to the bigger challenges. And it's things that lead to really big and gratifying challenges in the end. You then can shift your mindset from fixed to growth. And again, it all comes down to mindset. So you made it this far in life, and that in itself can be an accomplishment depending on what you do. So don't take things for granted. Don't take these things for granted. Don't settle. Don't give up on your challenges. Why would you? Why would anybody give up on their challenges? So if you're, again, not happy in your career, not happy with your home, not happy with the way you look, not motivated to do things, don't want to, you don't know how to challenge yourself, you've forgotten, you're afraid to challenge, then remember that we're here as coaches to help you do that. I am here to help you do that. But celebrate the small things. Celebrate the good things in life. Celebrate the small challenges and the big challenges. They may be, they may be bad, but you can always find the good. So there's bad in everything. Look at the climate we're in right now. I mean, you can find the bad, or you can look for the good. The good will be challenge yourself now, so that when we're out of this climate and this is past, that you then in turn have the ability to challenge, because really we're inside and every day we're challenged with something, whether it's our kids being at home and you're homeschooling and you're cleaning the house and you're doing this, and at the same time you've left all of the things that you do for yourself because this is not the norm. So we tend to not work out, or we tend to not be motivated to dress up for ourselves, or we don't know how to dress up for ourselves. These are the things that you have to challenge yourself to do, is keep yourself motivated, keep yourself challenged, and there's no better time than when we're in self-isolation to do those small challenges. If it can be as simple as this. You don't know how to do 10 push-ups, and you're afraid to do 10 push-ups because you don't know how. Challenge yourself to do 10 push-ups and then work on them. I mean, this is how small things become big things, and then you realize that you can later on challenge yourself in life. It just starts with one small step. If you focus on those things and those challenges, you will be so happy that you did. I have clients right now that are joining and have joined my mastermind group. I think I've got like 3 spaces left. And in this mastermind group, we've got 8 weeks, 90-minute online classes where we talk about getting up, dressing up, and showing up. And those are all key components. It's not about dressing up in the sense of we have to dress up and go out and look our best. When I say dress up, it's about just being able to challenge yourself to take a step towards a better version of yourself. Get unstuck. Whether it's your challenges, which today that's what I'm focusing on the Sunday sermon, even though it's pretty quiet out there in Facebook world live today and on the group, it's very, very quiet, but that's okay. This will be there saved for later. But don't forget how important it is. And for those of you who want help with challenges or your image or whatever that may be to you, again, there's 3 spots left in the group, and you can see that link in the group itself. So go there and join. Ask the questions, ask me questions. Leave comments about today's live. Leave comments and questions about it, and things that you may want to hear next Sunday for the Sunday sermon. You know, I take from what I see and what's been asked of me throughout the week to figure out what I'm going to discuss today on Sunday. So keep that in mind, and don't be afraid to drop a comment or message me or go to my Instagram and message me there or leave a comment there. But because I think I've talked long enough and I think everybody's got my point, and again, anybody who has any questions about this, you know where I am. You can message me anytime. You can go to my website at sgmylife.com. You can ask me questions there, whether it's about this or whether it's about the life coaching class that's coming up that starts May 11th. And again, that's 8 weeks, 1 time a week, 90 minutes. It's going to be cool. It's going to be fun. It's going to be full of information, and it's going to be a group. So until then, everyone, I want to say, have a wonderful day. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Stay positive. It's really hard, I know, right now. And you guys have a wonderful Sunday, and we will see you next week for SG My Life, another Sunday sermon. So again, leave those comments, leave those questions, give me some feedback, and let me know what you want to talk about next Sunday, and that's what we'll do. Okay? Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.